the floor made of snow. You put your hand on the small of a decision. Everything after was a beautiful collision. Match in my pocket that I swore I never carry. Kept it like a name that I can never quite bury. Slow is the way that a real fire begins. Nobody notices the heat on their skin. We turned in a circle for a year and a season. Called it a friendship, that's a decorative reason. Smoke in the curtain and we blamed it on winter. Everything gentle as an ember at its center. 1, 2, 3 and turn again. Fuel is not a kind of sin. Careful now, we're almost there. Something's burning in the air. Kerosene walls turning in the dark. Everything we didn't say is glowing like a spark. Never had to touch it for the room to catch flame. Face under the floorboards like a whisper of a name. Hold me at a distance while the whole house goes. Slowest kind of burning is the kind that knows. Sub curls under the wooden stair. Low and thickening in the smoky air. Feel the slow ignition everywhere.
Photograph curling at the corner from the heat. Somebody's coat still hung by the seat. I don't regret it and I wouldn't rewind it. Some things are worth every access behind it. Morning arrives with a house that's an outline. Best year I had was the year that was doubtful. And if you're circling somebody who should,
Telling yourself that of course you never would. Knowing full well that the fuel's on the floor. Don't lie about wanting to walk through the door. On the whole fire, that's what fire is for. Walls made of kerosene spinning to an end. Everything that burned was the thing I would defend. Never had to strike it, we just kept on the turn. Base beneath the embers like a lesson I can learn. Ash on the record where the needle used to sit. I would light the whole thing, I relive all of it. Danced too close, and I've never once been warmer. We danced too close, and I've never once been warmer. The forecast said impossible, blah 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 blah. The forecast said impossible, blah 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 blah. Hell on the awning of a shop that stayed open. Everyone inside with their plans getting broken. I walk through the middle with my hood belly rising. Weather's just weather, that's the only surprising. Nobody chooses what arrives in a season. Everybody chooses the weather they keep breathing. Insurance won't cover what the sky sends over. Neither will worry, neither will a clover. I stopped negotiating with the things that don't listen. Started building shoulders that could hold the whole system. Went and took the sign off the front of my building. I kept the same address, I kept the same feeling. Storm will rise, I don't debate. Nothing here to renegotiate. Let it hit and let it pass. Something in me won't break glass. Titanium weather, howling at the door. Everything that's coming has arrived here before. Sky can do whatever, I'm still standing in the yard. Bass beneath the thunder, like a fist behind a guard.
don't call me lucky, call me still awake. That's the only armor anybody makes. Sub cracks under the falling sky. Low and holding when the roof goes by. Feel the whole horizon amplified. Neighbors on the porch with a story getting better. Everybody bonded by the exact same weather. That's a strange gift of a genuinely bad year. Nobody's alone when the whole street is here.
Coffee getting passed and the power still missing. Best conversation that I've had in existence. And if you're in the middle of the worst of your run, where the rain has a name and the name is your own.
The weather is not a verdict on your worth. It's just a thing that happens to a person on this earth. Wait for the clearing. That's what clearings are worth.
Weather made of titanium, banging on the frame. Everything it threw at me arrived without a name. Sky can't keep its opinion. I'll keep my 2 feet. Bass across the flooding like a drum beneath the street.
Don't say I survive, but say I stay myself.
That's the only trophy sitting on my shelf. The forecast said impossible. The forecast said impossible. The forecast said impossible. The forecast said impossible. I'm still outside. Something beautiful is coming and it isn't here to help. Yeah. Red light rolling on a dress made of evening. Everyone assumes it's a party we're leaving. Perfume in the hallway like a warning that's pleasant. Nobody suspects the delivery of the present. Heels on the stairwell with a rhythm too even. That's how you know it was a plan and not a reason.
I learned the art from a city that lies well. Wrap the alarm in a bow, it becomes a bell. Smile like a hostess, move like a verdict. Nothing that I do is accidental or nervous. Camera in the corner, catching the glamour. Everything else happens under the hammer. Pretty is a kind of cloak. Louder sound is what I spoke of.
Wailing, wrapped in something fine. Take the warning as a sign.
Sirens and silk arriving with a grin. Everything alarming, got invited to come in. You mistook the fabric for a promise of a friend. Based under the ballroom like a curve around a bend. Don't say I fooled you, say you didn't read. Beauty is a siren if you let it lead.
Subway's behind the velvet rope. Low and climbing like I end up on a slope. Feel the pretty thing abandoned home. Yeah. Glass on the table with a lipstick confession. Somebody's story turning into a lesson. I don't punish, I just simply arrive. Everything guilty finds a way to describe. Code off the hook and I'm gone before the question. Nobody remembers more than the impression.
To the girl they keep calling too much at the door. Who dressed like a warning and got treated like a chore. The world will keep asking you to soften the sound. You are the emergency, so hold your ground. Where the whole siren, let it turn around. Silk on the siren, screaming in a hush. Everything I warned about arrived without a rush. You mistook the elegance for something that would kneel. Base beneath the chandelier like thunder in a wheel. Call it cruel, I'll call it well designed. Danger dressed politely is the kind. Something beautiful, right? You were warned in advance.
Someone living in the gap between two beats.
Metronome clicking and there's something in between it. Preacher says nothing cause he swears he ain't seen it. Play it back slow and the shadow keeps moving. Something in the pocket that the drummer is improving. I've heard it since I was a kid on the carpet. Everything on time as a passenger market.
Studio at 3 with the monitors humming. Faders at rest but the room keeps drumming. Some of it's memories, some of it's wiring. Most of it's the part of me that's never stopped trying. Sound has a shadow that arrives just after. That's where I live, that's my rafter.
Lay by hair, that's the trick.
Perfect is a kind of brick.
Human in a little drag.
That's the soul inside a bag.
Ghost in the tempo, riding just behind. Everything mechanical, who has something undefined.
Quantize it clean and you erase what was true.
Face in the millisecond, doing everything I do.
Don't fix the timing. That's the part with a face. That's the only human thing that's left inside of space. Summarize a breath too late. Low and swinging on a crooked gate. Feel the infection resonate.
Old records breathing cause the players were tired. Everything they missed is the reason I'm wired. New stuff is flawless and it lands like a table. Nothing to lean on and nothing to cradle. Give me a snare that's a little bit early. Give me a singer whose voice has gone surly. And to the engineer who cleans it till it's gone. Who lines up the takes till there's nobody home.
The error was the person, the drag was the hand. Every ghost in a groove is a soul taking a stand.
Leave the mistake and that's the whole plan. Tempo with the ghost in, breathing louder, louder, line. Everything in perfect is the part that's yours and mine. Written into nothing and you'll lose the only face. Face the hair behind
That's the thing you came to hear. That's the ghost, and the ghost is why we're here. That's the ghost, and the ghost is why we're here. That's the ghost, and the ghost is why we're here. There's someone living in the gap, and I'll let them stay.
Decided to be one square full of people with their phones in the evening. Nobody organized, everybody believing. Started with a girl and a speaker on a bicycle. Ended with a country that could not be political. Nothing got broken and nothing got taken. Just a whole horizon that refused to be shaken. Paper cups glowing with a candle in the middle. Grandmother next to me solving a riddle. She said we did this in 19 and something. Same square, same light, same nothing. Nobody wins on a night this is gentle. Everybody leaves with a slightly different mental. One small flame, that's not a fight. 10,000 of them, that's a light. Nothing loud and nothing armed. Nobody here is getting harmed. Lantern riot, blazing in the square. Everything they said we like is standing in the air. Nobody's a leader and nobody's a threat. Base beneath the pavement like a promise that's not made yet. Call it small and lit the whole night sky. This is what a quiet crowd can buy. This is what a quiet crowd can buy. Subswells under 10,000 feet. Low and rolling like a hardest street. Feel the softest revolution
Kid on his father's shoulders holding a paper. Wrote something honest with a very cheap marker. Cameras arrive when they think there'll be a fire. Leave when they realize the point is much higher. Streets got swept in the morning was ordinary. Something in the city was permanently very. And if you ever felt too small to bring a light, if you thought one candle wouldn't matter in a night, look at the square, count the ones like you. Every glow I hear is a person coming through. Bring the small flame, that's all you have to do.
gentle and immense. Everything we feared in us was standing in defense. Nobody threw a stone and nobody threw a name. Race across the cobblestone like water over flame. Calling nothing, it was everything we had. This is the loudest kind of glad. This is the loudest kind of glad. At the table, learned every silence like a very long fable. Then one Tuesday I just opened the hinge. Whole room changed and I felt the walls flinch. Taste in my mouth like a penny in the rain. That's what it costs when you finally explain. People love you soft and they love you agreeable. Second you're honest and you're suddenly unreachable. Uncle stopped calling and I understood the reason. Truth in a family is a very short season. I don't regret it but I count what it took. Every honest sentence is a page from a book. Meditate, that's the fee. Nothing free in honesty. Say it once and mean it twice. Silence has a higher price. Copper mouth talking, bleeding when it's true. Everything I swallowed for a decade came through. You wanted me quiet cause the quiet was convenient. Bass in the kitchen like a verdict from a lenient judge that got tired of the way that we behave. This is what it costs to leave a grave.
Sub rings, low like a struck coin, low end. Humming with a jawbones joint. Feel the honest thing begin to join. Yeah, cousin at the funeral finally agreed with me. 9 years late, but he said it very evenly. That's how it goes when you're first through the doorway. Everyone follows in a slow and a slow way. I don't need apologies, I need the sentence. Somebody sent it, it's worth the whole penance. Send it whoever's got the truth stuck behind their teeth. Rehearsing it nightly with the words underneath. It will cost you people, it will cost you a home. It will give you a mouth that is finally your own. Say the whole thing, then let it be known.
said, bought me something.
Street was very kind. Club at the corner still doing its business. Music through the doorway like a rumor of illness. I stood on the sidewalk with a hand in my pocket. Felt the whole one and then decided to lock it. Cab drove past and I let it keep going. Some kinds of hunger you can stop without knowing.
2 years and nights that I wore the same jacket. Woke up and knew with a chest full of static. Nobody staged an intervention or a lecture. I just got tired of the same architecture. Now I walk home when the neon starts calling. That's not a sadness, that's the sound of me falling.
Say no once, it feels like loss. Say no twice, you're at the cross. Third time, it's a quiet ease. Freedom looks like nothing, please. Neon fast and empty and awake. Everything I'm skipping is a thing I didn't take. Nobody applauds when you walk past the door. Bass in the distance getting smaller than before. Call it boring, call it what I chose. This is what the morning finally knows. Sub fades out down the empty block. Low and thinning like a slowing clock. Feel the quiet turning off the lock. Kitchen light on at midnight. Water in a glass and I'm reading by the dim light. Nothing spectacular arrived from the choosing. Just a whole self that I stopped losing. Friends still text me pictures from the balcony. That's fine, I'll see them when the sun's on the balcony. And to whoever's outside the door they shouldn't open. Talking to themselves with their fingers already broken. You don't need a story and you don't need a fall. You can just be tired, that's a reason and it's all. Turn around gently. Nobody has to call. Fastening the neon, patient and clear. Everything I walk past is a thing I'm not near. Nobody sees the choice, that's the nature of the wind. Based behind a closing door and I'm not going in. Call it quiet, call it what I built. This is what it looks like without guilt. I left the party early and the morning was mine. Sounds like a country. I ain't going down through a water that's hungry. Captain says hold and the whole boat obeys it. Nothing about stopping is a weakness, he says it. 20 years drifting on a very good current. Turns out the drifting was a beautiful deterrent.
I moved 11 times before I hit 30. Called it a freedom, it was mostly a hurry. Never let a floor learn the shape of my walking. Never let a person hear the end of my talking. Then when Harbor asked me questions I couldn't dodge. Something in me answered with a sound like a lodge. Let it fall, let it bite. Death is not the opposite of flight.
Nothing moving, nothing lost. Staying has a different cost. Anchor drop, thundering below. Everything I'm more to me is finally slow. Nobody told me that there still could be a thrill. Bass through the water like a hand upon a hill. Call it settling, I'll call it arriving. This is the first day I've been done surviving.
Sub sinks deep where the iron goes. Low and holding what the harbor knows. Feel the whole ocean decompose. Same coffee shop and the guy knows my order. Same walking 7 past the very same border. I used to think that was a life in a coffin. Turns out it's the ground and the ground isn't often.
Given to people who kept running from the giving. This is not a settling, this is actually living. And to the one who thinks that stopping is a failure, who packs heavy bag like it's the only real savior. There is a version of you that gets to be known. Depth is a country that you can't reach alone.
it's home. 3 in the morning has its own kind of citizen. 6 cars on a road that holds 1,000. Everyone out here is running from a house. Then nursing a Honda, coming off of a double. Guy in a truck who is driving off of trouble. Nobody waits, but we all understand it. This is the hour that the daylight abandoned. Gas station lit like an aquarium glowing. Man at the counter with the paper back showing. He's seen every version of a person at this hour. Doesn't ask questions, that's his tincture of power. Coffee tastes like a decision I regret. Still I fill the cup 'cause I'm not finished yet. No one's watching, no one's near. Everything is very clear. Nothing to perform out here. Just an engine and a fear. Whoa, power traffic, thinning out the lane. Everybody driving is a version of the same. Nobody's going somewhere they were meant to be. Base beneath the overpass like something in the sea. Roll the window down and let the cold get in. This is where the honest hours begin. Subwoofer rolls under a sleeping town. Low and holding the horizon down. Feel the whole night wear its crown. Radio tower blinking like a slow moving pulse. Somebody's talking on an AM about the codes. I let it play 'cause the voice is a company. Nothing about lonely has ever been fun to me. Sun's 40 minutes out and I can almost taste it. Whole night survived and I never once wasted it. And to the driver in the mirror who's been quietly weeping, who left a house where somebody is peacefully sleeping, you'll go back, you always go back. But this hour is yours and it's the only one in town. Take the long way, take the whole track. Traffic in the wolf hour sparse and unafraid. Everyone's still driving is a promise being made. Nobody arrives where they were going to arrive. Base across the guardrail like a proof that we're alive. Keep the window open till the sky picks a side. This is the hour where I don't have to hide. 3 in the morning, let me go at 4. 3 in the morning, let me go at 4.
My life, yeah, yeah, my one lies to you, yo, 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 yo. My 20 tells the truth, yeah, 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 yeah. Shoelace double knotted at a 1:15. Cold on the shins and the calves start humming. Everybody talks about the day of the race. Nobody mentions the 400 days. Rain in November on the road with no people. That's the actual metal, that's the actual steeple. This is that healed in the skin that can carry. Toe and nail gone and I don't find it scary. Body's a ledger of the things I completed. Nothing here inherited and nothing here cheated. Watch on my wrist doesn't flatter or coddle. Numbers don't lie, that's why I follow. Wallet 18, made it clean. Worst part's the part between. Not a hero, not a fool, just a body keeping rule. Marathon blood, bumping in my ears. Everything I train for is arriving in arrears. Nothing about distance ever care how I feel. Bass in the pavement making everything real. 26 of these and I'll do it again. Pain is just a chapter and I'm reading to the end. Sub it slow with the second wind. Low and lifting where the legs give in. Feel the whole body start to begin. Crowd at the corner with a sign made of crayon. Somebody's daughter yelling go at a stranger. That's the thing that breaks me every single occasion. Nothing in the world is as pure as that patience. Water cup crumbled and I toss it and I nod. 14 more, that's a conversation with God. And to the guy who walked the last 5 in his first, who thought he failed because he finished with a thirst. You cross the same line as the man put your whole body where you'd only put a word. Nobody who finishes is ever unheard. Blood in a marathon, singing in a cab. Every quiet morning is a mile on a graph. Distance doesn't care and that's exactly why I stayed. Basement need the finish like a debt getting paid. 26.2 and nothing but my own. This is what it looks like when the body comes home. Mile 20 told the truth, I told it back.
Sweat is just a Sweat is just a body, riding the flame. Salt on the color of a shirt that's been dying, ringing in the sink and I don't call it trying. While I'm finishing a circuit, both of us working, both of us working. Nobody films the part where you're ugly. That's the only part that ever loved me. 90-degree gym with the fans barely turning. Somebody's chalk on the bar and it's burning. Old guy in the corner doing sets like a metronome. Been here since 79, this is his home. He nods at me once and it's better than metal. That's the whole economy, that's the whole level. Soul, siren, breath, repeat. Nothing pretty on the street. Just a body and a cloud, just a will that doesn't stop. Salt and sirens howling through the town. Everybody suffering is holding something down. Nobody applauds for the part that's just labor. Face beneath the dumbbell like a favor from a neighbor. Call it grinding, call it what it is. This is where the ordinary is. Some grinds low under rusted steel. Low in matching what the muscles feel. Feel the ugly part becoming real. Ice on the shoulder and the drive home is quiet. Nothing left in me to argue a riot. Past the same ambulance and the doors were still open. Somebody's worst day and my body was chosen. To be fine, to be tired, to be walking. That's a gift I keep forgetting to be talking. And when you're on the floor in a room with no mirror, when the set doesn't matter and the point isn't clearer, that's the part that builds the thing you can't measure. Nobody sees it, that's exactly the treasure. Grind in the dark, it's the only real pleasure. Sirens over songs wailing at the dawn. Everything I gave here is a thing I carry on. Nobody was watching, that's the reason it will hold. Face beneath the rubber like a furnace in the cold. Nothing glamour, I'll take it as it comes. This is where the quiet victory drums. Sweat dried on the collar, the receipt is paid. The rules that be home. The night jacket knew who I was before I did. Thrift store rack on a Saturday in August, and so heavy it could stand on its own. Plus $12 later, and I walked out different. Clothes don't change you, they just make you consistent. Patch on the elbow from a stranger's whole decade. Wearing someone's history is the best trade I made.
Shoulders got wider cause the fabric expected it. Mirror in the hallway and I finally respected it. Style isn't money and it isn't a label. It's knowing what suits you when you sit at the table. Sneakers scuffed up in a very deliberate manner. Not the brand new ever carried a banner.
Blue so dark it looks like heat, wearing over down the street. Not a costume, not a lie, just a truer kind of eye. Molten denim, heavy on the frame. Everything I'm wearing knows exactly how I came. Nobody sold me on the version I became. Bass in the sidewalk, saying every single name. Call it confidence, it's really just fit. This is what it looks like when you own it.
Substrut slow with the walk-in pace. Low end tiller in the whole place. Feel the fabric on the baseline space. Kid on the corner asked me where I got it. Told him a story that was mostly not it. Truth is the jacket found me on a bad Tuesday. Cost the same as lunch and it changed the whole gateway.
Some things arrive as a very cheap rescue. Everything expensive never once impressed you. And to whoever's staring at a closet full of doubt, trying on a person that they can't quite figure out. It's not about the label and it's not about the price, but the thing that makes you walk a little more precise. Then just keep walking, that's the whole divide.
Denim gone
Molten, burning at the hem. Everything I'm carrying was carried once by them. Nobody designed a way, I turned it into mine. Face beneath the crosswalk, like a signature in line. Call it thrifted, call it what it grew. This is what a jacket taught me to do.
The jacket knew who I was, now so do I.
Two things live in me, and neither one is lying. Hand that can hold a small bird without pressure. Same hand that closed on a door with no measure. People keep asking which one is the real me. Both of them always, and that's why they fear me. Softness is not the beginning of surrender. It's the other half of everything I remember. Grandmother's kitchen with the sugar in the corner taught me to bake and to never be a mourner. Grandfather shop with the vice and the filing taught me that a mouth should be steady when it's smiling. Half of my language is a lullaby humming. Other half is a hammer that you'll hear coming. Light as breath, heavy as sound. Both of them cover the ground. Don't pick one to make it neat. Every wing needs weight to beat. Feather and steel resting in one hand. Everything delicate is how the strong things stand. Nobody chooses which one they get today. Face beneath the balance like a rose beneath the way. Call it contradiction, I'll call it complete. That's the only person I repeat. Subdrift slow like a falling plume. And anchor in the whole room. Feel the soft and the heavy consume. Fight with my brother where I didn't raise my volume. Won the whole thing with a sentence and a column. Later that night I made soup for the two of us. Both of those actions came from the same nucleus. People think power is the loudest position. Power is having the full ammunition. And
to whoever was told to be one or the other, too soft for a father, too sharp for a mother. You were never a puzzle that allowed us to fall. You were the whole toolkit and the home run. Hey, both of them. That's what I said. Still with a feather holding at the seam. Everything they split into is one inside a dream. Nobody has to pick between the blade and the hand. Base beneath the softness like a bedrock under sand. Call it both, that's a word I can keep. That's the only thing I take to sleep. Two things live in me, and both of them are home. And I refuse to win, so we went past it. 5 in the morning and the set didn't finish. DJ went harder when the crowd didn't diminish. Somebody said sunrise like it was a warning. We took it as a challenge and we ran at the morning. Shoes full of sand and my ears full of ringing. Everything hurting and my whole self singing. Body's been running on a battery of nothing. Somehow the meter is still reading as something. That's the thing nobody explains about limits. They're mostly a suggestion with a very soft finish. Push past the number and you find a new number. Sleep is a country I'll be visiting in summer. Red line, don't back it down. Speed is a kind of crown. Something's breaking, let it break. Morning's what the night can make. Overclock sunrise, screaming at the sky. Everything exhausted, got a reason not to die. Nobody's scheduled, the horizon is loud. Bass across the water with the sun through the crowd. Push the whole machine till the daylight arrives. This is the part where the tired come alive. So climb high with your orange line, low and burning at the edge of design. Feel the whole system redefined. Yeah. Girl on my shoulders with her hands full of morning. Everybody quiet for a second without warning. Then the drop hits and the field goes vertical. Nothing about this is the slightest bit sensible. Best decision that I've made in a decade. Everything after is a version I remade. And when we're old and we can stand for an hour, and the lightest thing we own is a kettle and a flower. We will have this, nobody can take it. I feel the sunrise in a body that can make it. Push past the number, then go and break it. Sunrise overclocked, blazing on the field. Everything I emptied out is everything I hear. Nobody survives a night this complete. Bass
lash out, came back looking for rent.
Said something big in a room full of listeners. Felt like a king for about 7 minutes. Then the sound found the walls and the walls found the ceiling. Now the whole building has an opinion of my feeling. Loud as alone with a very short window. Everybody hears you, that's the gift in the limbo. Host at 11 and regret by the morning. Screenshot forever with no kind of warning. I used to think volume was the same thing as power. Turns out it's the same thing as living in a tower,
where everything you said keeps arriving at the door. That's the actual bill, that's the actual chore.
Say it once, it says it twice. Nothing loud has a small price. Let it come and let it land. Only echo take the hand. Echo text coming, knocking with a list. Everything I broadcast has a shadow and a fist. Nobody escapes what they put in the air. Bass in the canyon like a judgment everywhere. Pay it like an idol, don't pretend it isn't mine. This is what it costs to try.
Sub returns from the far wall. Low and double in the whole call. Feel the sound come back and stall.
Apology written and I made it very plain. Didn't dress it up and didn't share the blame. Some of the echo will keep coming for years. That's fine, I'll be here, I got 2 working ears. Loud isn't wrong, but it's never without cost. Everything I broadcast is a thing I can't exhaust. And to whoever's afraid to ever open their mouth, watching the loud ones get eaten by the sound. Silence has a tax too, it just builds you slow. It takes the whole self and it never lets you know.
Speak then pay, that's the way to go.
Tags on the echo arriving right on time. Everything I said out loud was a building I could climb. Nobody gets volume without paying for the room. Bass across the canyon like a hand inside a tomb. Take the whole invoice, I'll be loud again. This is what it costs to be a voice among men.
Everything I shouted came back, I paid it.
And to rise. The bars are calmer than last, and the street gets honest. Shadows coming down on a row of small windows, neon going one by one like a set of dominoes. Somebody's crying in the doorway of a laundry. Somebody's laughing at a joke that got faulty. This is the hour when the city stops selling. Everything left over is the part worth telling. Couple on the curb sharing one set of earbuds. Bartender counting with his sleeves full of years left. Taxi light on and it's waiting for nobody. Street sweeper turning like a slow moving body. I stand at the corner just to watch it get quiet. Nothing here is mine and I don't wanna buy it. Last call and the mask falls. Everybody in these halls finally looks like who they are under one remaining star. Last light district dimming down the block. Everything pretending finally ran out the clock. Nobody's impressive at a 3:15. Face beneath the shutters like a tide on the quay. Stay until the final window says goodnight. This is the only honest part of life. Sub drifts low through a closing door. Low and sweeping up the whole floor. Feel the city not perform anymore. Got with a the guitar he's been carrying for hours. Plays one song for the birds and the flowers. Nobody tips him and nobody rags it. That's the best set that the city ever afforded. I walked home slow and I didn't check the time. Something about that hour was almost a rhyme. And if you're the last one at a table gone empty, nursing a glass that has nothing left in it, plenty. You're not a leftover and you're not behind. You just stayed long enough to see what you've found, which is the city being kind. District of last light folding up its show. Everything performative has nowhere left to go. Nobody's a stranger when the lighting is this low. Space beneath the pavement like a river under snow. Wait until the final window goes to black. This is the hour that I always want back. The bars called last and the street told the truth. And everything I burned turned out to be foundation. Ash on the map where a whole life was standing. Looked at the smoke and I started the planning. Nobody hands you a country in a basket. You make it from a fire in a very stubborn casket. Every failure I've had has a brick in this palace. Nothing here was built without a season of malice. 22 years old with a plan and no money. 31 now and the plan looks funny. Because it worked, but it worked in a language I could not have translated at that age of that anguish. Everything later up exactly on schedule. Time isn't cruel, it's just very individual. Heat is done, the shape remains. Nothing wasted, nothing plain. Take the ruin, take the field. Everything I lost is guilt. After burn empire standing in the char. Everything I sacrifice is glowing like a star. Nobody gave me a single acre of this. Space beneath the borders like an ocean in a fist. Call it late, I'll call it exactly on time. This is what I built from every climb. Sub rolls out of a whole domain. Low and crowding what survived the flame. Feel the empire finally take its name. Mother in a house that her son bought in autumn. Doesn't say proud, but her hands say often. Brother running numbers on a business we started. Everything shared, nothing departed. This isn't a throne and it isn't a story. It's just a lot of people getting slowly less sorry. And to whoever is standing in the smoke of this year, counting what's gone with your hands full of fear. The ash is not the ending, ash is what feeds. Every empire started as a bad year in seeds. Planted in the ruin, that's all it needs. Planted in the ruin, that's all it needs. Empire from the afterburn, rising out of gray. Everything that took from me is standing here today. Nobody predicted it and nobody approved. Base across the whole map like a mountain being moved. Call it luck, I'll call it what it took. This is the last page of a very long book. Everything I burned became the ground I stand on. I met my own heartbeat and found a country there. forest, drawing hills out of nothing. Green line climbing when the treadmill starts humming. Never knew my body had a geography inside it. Now I read the graph like a person who designed it. Peaks in the evening and a valley of four. Everything about me has a coast and a shore. Doctors had a chart and the chart had a middle. Told me I was normal, that's a very cheap riddle. Normal's an average of the people they measured. I'm not an average, I'm a map that's been treasured. Resting at 50 when I finally got quiet. Took me 13 months of an unglamorous diet. Read the line, respect the climb, every beat is borrowed time. Not a number, not a score, just a place I've never been before. Pulse cartography, drawn across the screen. Everything invisible has finally been seen. Nobody explores what's already in the chest. Base beneath the data like a drum inside a vest. Chart the whole territory, name it after me. This is what a body looks like when it's free. Subtract slow with the resting rate. Low end mapping out the whole estate. Feel the graph and the ground correlate. Uphill sprint and the line goes vertical. Body says stop in a voice that's rhetorical. 10 more seconds and the ridge gets a summit. Nothing on the map arrived without a plummet. Cool down slow and I watch the whole terrain. Everything I climbed is a road I can name. And if you look at a number and it makes you feel small, if the graph in your hand feels like a verdict and a wall, the chart is not a judgment, it's a letter from within. Your body has been writing since the day it began. Read it like a friend, not a demand. Heart top pulse, glowing in my hand. Everything I couldn't feel is finally on land. Nobody surveys the territory in the ribs. Base beneath the heartbeat like an engine in the bricks. Drop the whole country, walk it end to end. This is the only map I recommend. I'm at my own heartbeat and I move right in. Nothing is today, nothing will be. Curtain half open on a light that's forgiving. Phone face down like it's finally living. Coffee in a mug with a chip on the handle. Kept it for the chip, that's my kind of scandal. Nobody needs me for 11 straight hours. That's more than a rest, that's intellectual power.
6 days a week, I'm a knife in a drawer. Sunday, I'm a blanket and I don't want more. Socks on the hardwood and shuffle, that's terrible. Nobody's watching, so the dancing is bearable.
I earned this by burning through a month like a candle. This is not a weakness, this is how you handle.
Armor office on the chair. Nothing here to fight or bear.
Let the hours go unclaimed. Rest is not a thing to name.
Bulletproof Sunday, soft and undefended. Everything I carry got a day to be suspended. Nothing here can reach me and I turned off the door. Basing the apartment like a pearl on the floor.
Call it lazy if you never had a week. This is how the strong ones learn to speak. Sub hums low through a lazy speaker. Low and easy like a coffee percolator.
Feel the whole apartment getting sweeter. Rice on the stove and the window slightly cracked. Somebody laughing on the street, that's a fact. I read 4 pages and I fell asleep sitting. Woke up richer than the money I'm getting. No shirt, no plan, no message to answer. Sunday's the only undefeated dancer. And to the one who feels guilty for a day with no use, who counts their rest like it's a rope and a noose. Nothing grows during the part where you push. Everything alive takes a season in the bush.
Put down the armor, go stand in the hush. Sunday made of armor that I finally set down. Every hour unaccounted is a treasure in the town. Nothing here to prove and nobody to impress. Space beneath the blanket like a slow and warm caress. Call it nothing, it's the thing that keeps me whole. Rest is not a break, it's how you build a soul. Nothing was due today, and I did it perfectly. Ever grim. Went away at 20 for a decade of a chase, everything enormous, and I saw the whole of it. Came back at 30 to the very same place, crouched down at the pool, and I could hardly sit. Everything's still there, and it has never even known nothing about me in my decade of the wide. Everything I chased was a bowl I could have grown. Everything's inside. Everybody's certain that the ocean is the aim. Everybody's certain that a bull is a defeat. Nothing about scale was ever anybody's claim. Nothing about scale has ever made a person sweet. If you have a pool and it is functioning in full, please do not abandon it because it isn't why. Everything you're looking for is sitting in that bowl. Everything's inside. Pool for the tide, glowing in the sun. Everything I'm looking at is absolutely one. Let the ocean roll and let it take the whole of them. Nothing here is anything to stem. Small and whole is all I ever need. That's the only kind of sea. Ocean left a bowl of itself behind. Everything inside it was enough. Everything inside it was enough. Yeah. Green dye that isn't falling on a person. Middle of a field on a Wednesday in the rain. Nobody within a very generous terrain. Water on my face and it is not about me. That's the whole of what I came out here to see. Everything in cities is addressed and has a name. Every drop of weather is a personal claim. Out here it's indifferent and it does not know I'm wet. Kindest thing that anything has done for me yet. Nothing here is looking at my face. That's a definition of a play. No